It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Our matchup tonight taking place in Milwaukee, the BMO Harris Bradley Center, as we watch the Bucks go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have been staying very focused in this last stretch. This is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. It's been said that Karl Anthony Towns is the prototypical modern big man in the league. There's no doubt that he's a star with all the potential in the world, but would you guys agree he represents the future of that position?
You know, I like him, one, because he's from Jersey. Then he can play inside and outside. He's lengthy and strong, but he's very mobile, agile, and fruitile.
His skill set is coveted by every player.
Fruitile?
Oh, no question.
I got that.
What's fruitile?
I got it from Dick Vitale. I don't know.
Fruitile?
I heard Dick Vitale say it.
What does fruitile mean?
Fruitile is like it's fruitful, but it's got a lot of tile to it.
But it's futile as well. It's a futile fruitfulness.
Got a lot of tile to
It's got a lot of tile to it.
Fruitile.
That means he can lay it down. He's got a lot of tile to his fruit.
That's right, Ernie. He can lay his game down.
He can lay it down.
And his game is sweet like
Sorry,
fruit.
I'm so out of step.
You're not a
almost
millennial.
time for the tip-off. See you next time.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Last outing for Minnesota, they won that game against Denver.
And you know what? Up against a weak defense, they were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted.
Yeah, what I like, though, besides that, is that they just didn't settle for it, because weak defenses, you could take bad shots. That's not what they did here tonight.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Jimmy Butler survived a tough upbringing in Tomball, Texas. He said that's all anybody ever wanted to talk about. But I don't want that to define me. If I'm stuck in the past, then I won't get any better. I won't change. I'll get stuck as that kid. That's not who I am. I'm a great basketball player because of my work. Guys?
Thanks, David. You can tell Butler has a good head on his shoulders, an elite talent in this league because of the hard work he puts in. Great guards battling it out tonight. Brent, who was the thorn in your side at the guard position back when you were playing?
Two guys for me come to mind, Kevin. One is a guy that's in the Hall of Fame. I think you might remember him. His name is Allen Iverson. And I specifically,
yes, I do recall him.
You heard about that guy. I remember specifically one time where Gary Payton and I, playing in the Seattle backcourt, had prepped for a game where he was going to take AI, I was going to guard Eric Snow, and I was thanking the heavens that that was the case for that night. We got to the game. Gary Payton turned to me at the jump ball and said, "You take AI." That's not fun.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Minnesota, Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Gibson is the four with Towns in the middle, and it's Teague in at the one spot. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ball game. No good from Bledsoe. Bledsoe against Teague. Towns, the screen. Teague against Middleton. Teague, the pass to Gibson. Rebound, Milwaukee. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
And it's always nice to get the easy look inside for your first points of the game.
The rebound by Gibson.
The defense was in the area, but not really effective. He has to put away this layup. And his versatility on offense is so spectacular. He always finds ways to help put points up on the board.
Now here's Antetokounmpo in the game against Chicago. Very impressive.
Well, sometimes it takes a while for all that length in Giannis to catch up to those feet, but once he does, man, he can explode.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Towns sets the pick for Teague. Wiggins outside. Here's Towns, and Henson sends it back, and Towns gets it to go. Timberwolves on defense. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, two clubs that rarely face off, East versus West. This is going to be a nice treat for the fans.
Now, kicking off this 2-game season series, I expect a lot of feeling out by both teams and the coaching staff, and then a number of subsequent adjustments in this one.
And here is Teague following the 3 from Eric Bledsoe. Teague kicks to Wiggins to the right side. Henson against Towns. Over Henson. Towns, no luck. Milwaukee in the lead. And Bledsoe, here we go. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And slam dunk by Butler.
And Butler always looking to find that alley-oop. Just throw it his way, and he'll handle the rest.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He's a solid producer, averaging nearly 22 points a game. And it's Bledsoe off the drive, and it's good for 2. Bledsoe's got 5 points so far.
Wow, the energy from Bledsoe in this one, excelling at turning on the jets and getting to the basket.
The Timberwolves have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. T kicks to Towns. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for Milwaukee.
They stayed away from being too reliant on the 3-point shot. They used it when they had to, but kept things balanced. And that's what you want to have, an offense that comes at you in all sorts of ways.
Now here's Bledsoe. Here's Middleton. Wiggins with some nice D.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Towns kicks to Butler. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns the screen. Teague inside the line. And that one is off. And Milwaukee the other way now. Middleton on the wing. Covered by Wiggins. Gibson with the steal. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. We have a chance now to look at the teams that have created the most points off turnovers this season. The Bucks number 1.
You know, it's not just the turnovers they're forcing. I mean, they're converting at the other end, and you know what? It puts a lot of pressure on you to play perfect. I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 number-1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
And he knocks down the first one. Last season, Malcolm Brogdon, one of the bigger surprises out of the rookie class.
Well, Malcolm Brogdon ends up becoming the Rookie of the Year as a second-round draft choice. Amazing to see how comfortable he played through stretches of the Milwaukee Bucks season last year. A good passer, never seemingly getting himself out of control, Kevin. That's some good heady stuff from a rookie.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Well, he talks so much about rhythm from the field. How about a rhythm from the free throw line? That looks good.
Teague against Bledsoe. Towns sets the pick for Teague. Down low, stolen by Henson. And Antetokounmpo gets it to go. Antetokounmpo's got 6. Here's Teague. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Passes to Towns. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor. Already an elite post scorer. But Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
Now about halfway through the season, Brent, some teams looking great, but we still have a long way to go. We're talking about an 82-game schedule that is meant to put teams and players really to a full test.
Yeah, it's really something. I oftentimes find myself, Kevin, looking back after 14 years of playing at a team's schedule for an upcoming season, and I scratch my head and I go, wow, I used to do that? I mean, that's not easy to do.
It's very difficult. I agree. Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He's got 6. Pass to Bledsoe. Henson with the screen. Bledsoe dishes to Henson. And slam dunk by Henson.
This is where a big chunk of the points for John Henson come from. Outside of offensive rebounding, he gets it done on the pick and roll.
Timberwolves trail by 6. T kicks to Butler. To the left wing. Here's Towns, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Here's Middleton, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Left side, Gibson. Brogdon against Butler. He dishes it to Towns. 5 on the clock. Shots good by Butler.
And the versatility of Butler, just impressive. Solid at finding ways to get inside and finish at the rim.
Now here's Bledsoe. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Chicago. Brogdon the pass to Bledsoe. A beautiful reverse layup. Bledsoe's got 7.
How about the interior game? Eric Bledsoe with that size and that width as a point guard scoring inside.
Timberwolves trail by 8. T kicks to Wiggins. The feed now to Gibson. Antetokounmpo grabs the miss.
The defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
Out to the right wing. T. Gibson. Great positioning on the putback.
Gibson using his body on the boards. He's great at using his timing to leap up and collect a second chance.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. Outside for Bledsoe. No good on the triple. Timberwolves have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. Butler, no good. And stolen by Wiggins. From 11 feet away, offensive rebound. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
This is when length becomes a massive, massive positive. What a shot block by Giannis.
Towns with the defensive effort. Timberwolves trail by 6. Towns the screen. T kicks to Wiggins. Towns sets the pick for Wiggins. Now the pass to Butler. Here's Teague. The second effort, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Middleton against Wiggins. The dish now to Bledsoe. Henson with the screen. Bledsoe kicks to Middleton. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Middleton's got his second bucket of the night. Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota.
And when I watch Eric Bledsoe, I really feel like he's at his best when he's kind of prodding a defense. So hard to keep away from the rim. When he attacks, it just opens everything else up in his offensive game.
And Greg, as you said, the aggressiveness Bledsoe has going to the rim is a key for him and getting those open shots then on the perimeter.
And the team is at their best when he is in attack mode. I mean, opens up lanes for cuts as you just can't keep him out of the paint. Knows when to drop off a pass after he beats his opponent as well for an easy score.
A platoon swap here for Milwaukee. Crawford against Muhammad. Crawford's shot is good.
Well, defensively, the scheme has to be that Jamal Crawford can't get comfortable on offense. Too late. That floater was nasty.
Now here is Dellavedova, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Here's Muhammad. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Muhammad's got his first 2 points of the night.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Jones, the pass to Bielitsa. To the inside. The dunk and the foul. A powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's on Jabari Parker.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Yeah, they should bring out a big razor right now, Kevin. A great start, an aggressive move to show they're not going to lay down.
One shot.
Hey, Brent, you made the NBA playoffs in your second year. Talk about the mental preparation that goes into one's first postseason as a player.
I think it's always a special time, Kevin, just because of the unknown factor. And at that time, it was the Clippers, my second season, a team that was very young and inexperienced. And so it was all fresh and new. And the biggest challenge for any coach in that sort of predicament is to make sure that players are on task and focused. We certainly were not. The Utah Jazz took care of us, and that's because of one John Stockton and Karl Malone.
And the dunk by Parker.
Man, that's great signs. Take the contact, keep your focus, and still get the score. Well, after the knee injury that Parker suffered as a rookie, you just really hoped all that explosiveness would come back. It did in a big way. Unfortunately, had another tear of the ACL, which started the process over again. But given his track record, I think he'll be back to form.
That's good from Parker. And with Parker, that ability to cover so much distance so quickly is what makes him a tough assignment as a defender. Brent, you hope the explosiveness can return after his latest setback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He worked very hard to get it back just last season, and I expect him to do the same. And he just kept getting stronger as the season went on. That combination of Parker and Giannis on the wing started making people look at the Bucks in a little bit different light. And when Jabari's at full strength, boy, can he be explosive.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Now here's Jones, defended by Dellavedova. There's a screen. Screen by Jones. Here's Crawford. Crawford missing again.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Well, it's like Thanksgiving out there, carving out space off the screen. Just couldn't complete the play.
Crawford with another miss. Bucks leading by 10. Here's Teletovic. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Crawford kicks to Bielitsa. Jang, high post. Outside, Jones. Pass to Bielitsa. Shot clock at 6. Here's Jang. Here's Patton. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. As we get a break in the action, let's take a peek at the team's scoring leaders. In the third spot, the Bucks.
And how about the year they've had offensively? This is a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Always fun to watch them play.
2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
Always take time to think about Jason Kidd and his career, having played against him in high school in the Bay Area in Oakland as he was a star of St. Joseph's. There's no question that back then he had the acumen and the intellect to be a coach. Was always that on the floor during his career, and doing it now in Milwaukee.
Second free throw, no good. And as you said, Brent, Kidd, one of the great minds in the game, and was a coach on the floor long before he was a coach on the sideline.
I think it's interesting for Jason Kidd and where he is now, because all these young players need experience to get smarter, and Jason is so smart. So I think he's waiting for a time where all of that intellect can catch up, and then everybody can be on the same page.
And Milwaukee has possession. Following the 3 by Minnesota. Teletovic, the screen. From deep. And it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here. "17 seconds left here in the opening quarter." Tipped away. Parker outside. 4 seconds left. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Parker's got 5 points so far.
I'm enjoying watching Jabari Parker play in this one. His drives to the hoop are pretty quick and very decisive.
And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. The Bucks on top. They lead by 11. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Bucks here, they've been putting a show on, guys.
And boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through one.
A nice game plan coming in, and right now sticking to it. It's a nice lead that they have.
Bucks leading by 11. On the court for Minnesota. Bielitsa is out there with Patton. Then it's Jones. Then it's Gorgie Dang. And it's Crawford at the 2-guard spot.
Well, somewhere out there, the weakest link was exposed by Dellavedova.
Muhammad against Crawford. Shoots over Muhammad. Cans the 12-footer. And for Milwaukee, they're shooting fantastically in this game. 62% from the floor. Now here is Dellavedova. Defense right on him. Here's Parker. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And last season, Jabari Parker added a consistent three-pointer to his tool set as a scorer.
You think about the first few games, averaging about 13, Kevin, then jumped it up to 19, and then all of a sudden you get to December and he's averaging over 20 a game. So for Jabari to have that kind of consistency and that kind of improvement and gain his confidence, he's got to feel good that if he gets back to health, he can still do damage in the NBA.
Free throw good by Parker. Hey, Brent, what's more important, offense or defense? Some guys are great at both.
Well, offense is sometimes what you get paid for, Kevin, but defense is where you need a buy-in. And so to me, it's always the defense and the way that you construct that camaraderie on that end of the floor, that communication on that end of the floor, that's going to make the difference in your season.
Don't you love two-way players, though, guys that play hard at both ends? It's hard to do, but the guys that do it well really stand out.
Well, it's not football, Kevin. There's two sides that you have to play in basketball, and certainly the more equipped that you are to play both, the more playing time you're going to see for a coach.
Crawford with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. Shoots off the screen, and with that, the Bucks lead is cut to just 11 points in the basket from Crawford.
Never quite sure what Crawford's going to do on the pick and roll, so that unpredictability plays into his advantage.
Dellavedova dishes to Muhammad. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Jones kicks to Crawford. Jang, a screen. It's Bielitsa. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. Bucks leading by 13. Dishes it to Parker. The Bucks working the ball around. Teletovic misses. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Crawford against Muhammad. Jones, the pass to Patton. Screen by Jones. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Now here is Dellavedova, defended by Jones. Parker dishes to Maker. Over Jang, out to Parker. And that's good off the glass that time. Parker's got the lead up to 13 now for the Bucks.
Well, Jabari was ready to fire that one. You could see feet set, and he let it rip.
Jang, a screen. Jones kicks to Jang. He feeds it to Crawford. Passes it to Patton. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Elitsa misses.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
You look up and down this Bucks roster, and you have to do that. Up and down and over and side to side. Just so much length with this team. Giannis is certainly the biggest name with the biggest wingspan, but guys like Thon Maker and Tony Snell defensively, they've got great reach as well.
And that one falls for Muhammad. And Brent, it seems like the Bucks are always adding length to their team.
Well, when most teams have gone smaller with their lineups, Milwaukee very curiously has collected a lot of longer players that they think can go out and do a multitude of things to make their roster a little bit more futuristic.
Muhammad hits them both.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Minnesota calls timeout.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
All right, a chance to look at the stats for Andrew Wiggins. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Averaging about 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
His instincts naturally are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome.
The Bucks making a switch here. Ogden's checked in. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler comes in for Jamal Crawford. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Wiggins got it. Good job in the low post.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Muhammad, the pass to Brogdon. He kicks it to Bledsoe. Tries again, and it's Maker laying it in. And the Bucks lead by 15.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Jones kicks to Towns. Feeds it to Wiggins. Now here's Towns. D right on him. And Parker with the block.
How about the reach from Parker? Extends his arms way up that time to get the block.
Here's Brogdon. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Wiggins. And a brief moment now to see who's atop the NBA in blocks. 5th, Karl Anthony Towns.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
Henson's checked in for the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for Muhammad. Teague is checked in for Minnesota. Bledsoe dishes to Henson. Towns with the defensive effort.
Well, from our angle, that looked like that was going in. But defense, fantastic how they contested it.
And here comes the break. And here's Brogdon from the arc. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Wiggins. Another shot, and it's sent back by Bledsoe. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. And last season, Giannis truly making the leap to superstar in the NBA. Brent was recognized by the fans, as well as he was voted in as a starter for the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And I love the point that Giannis made last year with regards to that All-Star voting, Kevin. He said he would have gotten more votes if people knew how to spell his name correctly. I still get it wrong.
That's good from Antetokounmpo.
Another remarkable thing to me about Giannis is the way that he's improved so quickly and solidified the fundamental part of the game. Giannis didn't grow up playing basketball. We've heard that story before, but jumping from the Greek 2nd division to the NBA, what a gigantic difference of competition, and he's risen to the level.
Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. And with Giannis's background is really something incredible. Very modest beginnings. But Brett, he's put in a lot of work to make sure he's a basketball success.
There are some players, Kevin, who just understand what it takes to be in the NBA, and Giannis is one of them. But what he's done, Kevin, is he's realized his potential. He sees what's out there, and he wants to maximize it all. And every year he's taking a leap, and those leaps seem to be bounds.
He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Middleton the pass to Antetokounmpo. Good, and the assist goes to Middleton. Antetokounmpo's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, Middleton right now staying aware of where his teammates are and hitting them when they're open.
Towns the screen. T kicks to Towns. Releases from 15. That one off the back iron and out.
You got to be a little bit questioning of the defense, because I'm sure they feel foolish for giving that guy that look, but they survived it. Now he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Minnesota calls timeout when a powerful athlete, Brent, like LeBron James, steamrolls his way to the rim. It's so difficult and so much stress on that defense. But who are some of the smaller slashers in the league that can have just as big an effect?
A couple of guys I think about, Kevin, is Otto Porter in Washington, Thad Young in Indiana, and Trevor Ariza in Houston. Although he likes to shoot threes, still a good slasher. Most of these guys, Kevin, play with guys who have the ball a ton. Wall and Beal in Washington, Teague and Paul George. So to be a creative scorer, if you're not shooting threes, you've got to find angles and opportunities as a slasher to put points on the board. Those guys do a pretty good job of it.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
Now here's Bledsoe. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Antetokounmpo. Great D that time from Gibson. Timberwolves trail by 18. To the inside. Stolen by Middleton. Inside. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
Oh, and he likes the mid-range, Jay. You have to get right up on him if you want to stop it.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Brogdon. Back to Antetokounmpo. Six on the shot clock. Here's Brogdon, and Butler sends it back.
And Butler, one of those guys that's terrific at slapping away shots, utilizing that impressive wingspan on defense.
And Henson pulls it down. Brogdon the pass to Middleton. Back to Brogdon. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Jimmy Butler. Malcolm Brogdon, a second-round pick out of the University of Virginia. What a find, Greg, he has been, and you love that he can fill in at either guard spot.
And you get the feeling Brogdon was overlooked for being a 4-year player in college. Has the passing and vision of a point guard, scores well enough from inside and out to play off the ball as well.
That free throw good from Brogdon. Brent, some incredible players have put on the jersey for the Bucks in their storied history. Do you have a favorite Bucks player who you always appreciated watching?
Well, I'll name 3, Kevin. First, Jack Sikma. Second, Sidney Moncrief. And third, Terry Cummings. Those were some of the more incredible offensive teams during the 1980s that do not get enough credit.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
And here is Henson after Jimmy Butler made that last 3-pointer. Middleton outside. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got his 4th assist in this one. Timberwolves trail by 17. There's the screen. Gibson dishes to T. Gibson with it. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo. Here's Towns. Just 5 on the clock. And Butler gets it to go.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
It's Brogdon on the wing. Kicks it to Henson. Back to Brogdon. The Bucks working the ball around. Here's Antetokounmpo. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
And you got to wonder, how high is the ceiling for Giannis in terms of the versatility out there on the floor? Tonight, he is putting on a scoring show.
Pass to Towns. He dishes it to Butler. Shoots over Brogdon. Butler, no good. Bucks leading by 16. Now Middleton. A 17-point game for him in the win against Chicago.
Well, I think he was especially impressive on the glass. The defense had no idea what to do with him.
And it's Towns on the follow. That gives him a double-double in this one. 11 points and 13 rebounds. Milwaukee's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Now here's Bledsoe. 9 points in the game so far. Kicks it down to Middleton, beyond the arc, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 4 assists in the game. T kicks to Wiggins, Gibson the screen. T. Rebound Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Bledsoe passes to Middleton. And here we go, fast break. Wiggins has got it. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
You got to give it up for Butler, an MVP caliber talent with a real skill for putting the ball in the basket.
Henson, a screen on Butler. Brogdon kicks to Middleton. Over Wiggins. Another miss by Middleton. Timberwolves trail by 15. Left side, Butler. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Butler's got 10 points in the quarter.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Thon Maker's checked in for John Henson. Mirza Teletovic comes in for Chris Middleton. Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for Malcolm Brogdon. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Eric Bledsoe. Timberwolves trail by 13. The pass to Patton. Baseline J on the way, and that one good.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. There's 45 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Dellavedova's got his third assist on the night. Crawford outside. Jang high post. Over Maker. They get it back. Goes back up. Here's Patton. They had a number of cracks at it, but came away empty-handed. And Teletovic kicks to Maker. There's 14 seconds left in the first half. Three-pointer, Dellavedova. Rebound by Jang. Here's Butler for three. Up in time. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Milwaukee. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, you guys were able to get the lead. What was the key to getting all those open shots?
It was just getting stops, getting rebound, getting down and pushing, finding lanes, finding open guys.
And you made the most of it, Chris. Thanks a lot. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He ended up with 15 points, 3 block shots, and 1 steal. Shaq, let's get your take on Milwaukee.
The Greek super freak making his presence felt. A frame built for the game of basketball. With his length and athleticism, there's nothing he can't do. That's right, Ernie. 6'11" point guard. Wow.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
They're being far less aggressive than they ought to be. The free throw differential is huge right now. It's threatening to determine the outcome of the game. So they have to get into the lane and challenge defenders to make them try to stop you.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Antetokounmpo in this game has been everywhere.
And in that first half, something we don't see a lot of from him, the ability to make everyone around him better.
Yeah, that's not really his forte, Greg. Unselfish play.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Milwaukee leading by 13. They've got Chris Middleton. Antetokounmpo is out there with John Henson. Then there's Bledsoe, and it's Brogdon in at the 2. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Jason Kidd. Antetokounmpo dishes to Middleton. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. And the foul on John Henson. That'll be his second foul of the game. Timberwolves trail by 13. Outside Teague. Towns sets the pick for Teague. Right side Gibson. In the corner, it's Wiggins. Towns, a screen on Brogdon. Butler kicks to Gibson. Over onto Tacumbo.
Always seems to be a secondary thought process for the shooter when Giannis is in the area. Definitely throwing some shots off right now.
Brogdon. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got 4 rebounds in this game. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. No good on the 3. Bucks leading by 13. Middleton with it. Now defended by Wiggins. Middleton can't get it to go.
And they just cannot seem to get it going so far in this half, missing their first 3 shots.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Get the feeling that Milwaukee hit the jackpot with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Rare to get a superstar as elite as that in the draft, but they found him. He's the biggest superstar that this team has had probably since Michael Redd or Ray Allen.
That's good from Gibson. And Brent, for the Bucks, the team knows they need to build around Giannis Antetokounmpo, as he is a once-in-a-lifetime talent.
Well, the front office does have an idea of just how good Giannis is right now, but what he can be, and it'll be interesting how they decide to construct the roster. A lot of these guys are versatile and very, very long, and so that's problematic for the teams that are going to play against. The development has to come from within. This team could make a long playoff run if it does.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's got 9. Brogdon the pass to Antetokounmpo. Over Gibson. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
Well, they got to be more active on offense and maybe a little bit more aggressive going to the rim. 0 of 4. Not impressive thus far.
Left side Butler. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Butler's got 16 points.
And how about Butler just rising up from there? A solid shooter when he's in that mid-range area.
Bledsoe kicks to Brogdon. Henson, a screen on Butler. Here's Brogdon, and Gibson sends it down. For 3, Bledsoe. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 16th rebound on the night. Outside Teague. The feed to Gibson. They set the pick. Butler dishes to Towns. Shoots over Henson. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And that's 13 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
Now, here's Brogdon. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. And the Bucks miss again.
Yeah, even though he's been off, the team's still winning, so the hope is that he's going to get going.
Here's Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Now just a 5-point Bucks lead.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Right, big scoring run fueled by great game planning and really some great shot making.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
2 shots.
That's good from Antetokounmpo. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Parker's checked in for Chris Middleton. Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo.
There are a lot of guys that have versatility in our league, but I think Antetokounmpo is probably the most unique.
The dish now to Towns. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Here's Wiggins, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the knee.
It's his first trip to the line. First one falls for him.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
And so he makes both from the line. And Wiggins, his young career just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that 2-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
And Bledsoe felt really good on that one. A good shooter from the in-between areas.
There's the screen. T kicks to Bielitsa. Pass to Butler. Kicks it out to Wiggins. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
They needed a run desperately, and boy, did they come up big.
I just think it was a matter of getting recomposed, altering their game plan just a little bit. They look completely in sync now.
Now here's Brogdon. 9 feet out. And he comes up with the deuce. Brogdon's got 6.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
Here's Towns. That's short off the rim.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
Parker's shot is off. Timberwolves trail by 7. Outside Butler. Out left to the wing. It's Bielitsa. Doesn't go for him. Now the Bucks take it the other way. They led the game at 1 point by 20.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
Now here's Bledsoe. 11 points in the game. And it's Parker in the corner. Another miss by Parker. Timberwolves have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Butler in the corner. Stolen by Henson. Here's Antetokounmpo. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And we take a look here at the shot chart for Minnesota.
This has been the kind of showing from him that everyone wanted to see. He's not going out of his way to force much, but when the shot is there for him, he hasn't hesitated 1 second to pull the trigger. Just a great night from the floor for him.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one misses. And some changes here for the Bucks. Akers checked in for Henson. Muhammad comes in for Malcolm Brogdon. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Eric Bledsoe. And then for Minnesota, Gorgie Dangs checked in for Wiggins. Crawford comes in for Butler. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Teague. And the second free throw, good. Timberwolves trail by 8. Outside, Jones. Towns, high post. Over Maker. And Towns gets it to go. Towns has got 17.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around him.
Now here's Muhammad. He's got 8. Maker passes to Antetokounmpo. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Screen by Jones. It's stolen by Maker. And Parker, here we go. And the dunk by Parker.
Love how he finishes off drives, Kevin. He is determined to get to the rim.
Jones with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And the Timberwolves call time.
Thon Maker is one of the most intriguing players on this roster, without a doubt. As if they didn't have enough length already. Put the stretch. This guy puts the stretch in the term stretch 4. And interesting last year how Jason Kidd went to him during critical moments of their playoff series. So look out for Thon Maker to make some impact this year.
And Brent, as you said with Maker, he is a player who this team hopes to develop into a weapon in the post war.
It was amazing last year because he played just about 25 games before the All-Star break kicked in. And then all of a sudden, the minutes went up, the production went up, the confidence went up. And people are thinking that Thon Maker is going to be a vital part to what the Bucks do in the future.
4 on the clock. There's Crawford with the 3. Rebounded by the Bucks. Maker's got his 6th rebound on the night. Parker dishes to Muhammad. Back to Parker, takes the 13-footer, and another basket for Milwaukee.
And Parker has the mid-range shot going there, looking composed while he pulls the trigger. Love the in-between game.
Passes to Bielitsa. Dishes to Jang. It's stolen by Maker. Parker kicks to Muhammad. And the dunk by Muhammad.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
And he rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. Timberwolves trail by 14. And here's Jones. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. Some teams live and die by the 3. Let's check out the best. In the 3rd spot, the Bucks.
No doubt they have snipers on that roster, that's for sure. It's been a terrific year for them from beyond the arc.
On offense here, the Bucks. They're on a 15-6 run. Dellavedova kicks to Muhammad. It's tipped. For Minnesota, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field since the 3rd quarter got underway. Jones, no luck. Milwaukee leading by 14. Parker outside. Teletovic in the post. Bielitsa's there. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Dellavedova. Excellent D that time from Jones. Timberwolves trail by 14. Pass to Patton. Here's Bielitsa, covered by Parker. Bielitsa misses.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Parker with a clean look. Good on the 13-footer. Parker's got 6 points in the quarter.
And when it rains, it pours. Another jump shot tickles the twine.
Crawford outside. From outside the arc, Teletovic grabs the board.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team. Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
So it's Minnesota now after the basket by Milwaukee. Jones, the pass to Patton. Back to Jones. There's the pick. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. Covered by Teletovic. Trying to get back on track. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
And there's the 3-second violation. As we approach the halfway mark, let's take a look at how everything stands out west. Take a look at the Warriors. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And of course, Minnesota, 4 games back.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, got to be one of the feel-good stories of this NBA season. Not many people were talking about them coming into the start of the year.
No doubt about it. They're one of the top teams everyone's talking about, top to bottom. Everyone in the organization, that means front office, coaches, players, just done an outstanding job this season.
1:24 left in the third. Dellavedova dishes to Middleton, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. And 12 points for Chris Middleton.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Now here's Jones. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. There's a good screen. There's Crawford with the 3. Rebounded by Maker.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Timberwolves trail by 21. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And Patton gets it to go.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Now Dellavedova. 19 seconds left in the third quarter, and the foul called on Tyus Jones. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
And Middleton kicks to Dellavedova. There's a good screen. And Middleton the bucket on the assist from Dellavedova. 14 points for Chris Middleton.
Well, Chris Middleton has the size in this league that you need to finish on the inside. Way to get that one up quick.
With 1 on the clock, and so it's Milwaukee with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. Back right after this. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
One shot, then when we make a miss, run and run through so we get some spacing. Make the game easy.
You know, guys, we hear a lot of coaches preach all this. Tom Thibodeau wanting defensive rebounding and then faster pace on offense.
Yeah, and that shows you he knows the pulse of his team. He knows that they're not quite energized. Their play rises to a whole nother level when they are.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. So on the floor for Minnesota, Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. Crawford out there with Jones. And it's Patton in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Truer words never spoken. Breakdown on the perimeter D, and the communication severely lacking there.
Here's Wiggins following the 3 by Milwaukee. Patton's shot is off.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Jones the pass to Crawford. Second chance shot. Patton's shot is off. Milwaukee leading by 22. Goes to the reverse layup and claps it in.
That's a pretty good move from Dellavedova. Tough defense, gets off the perimeter and into the paint to get the score.
Timberwolves have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. The pass to Patton. Wiggins against Middleton. Second shot opportunity. No good from Gibson.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot.
Teletovic dishes to Muhammad. Gibson against Teletovic. Back to Muhammad. Shot clock at 6. Over Crawford. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Patton's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And that one's good. Wiggins.
He has a very well-rounded offensive game. There's just no shortage of ways Wiggins has to punish an opponent, inside, outside, or otherwise.
Timeout called, the Bucks. In other sports, the drafts have so many rounds, the scouts have a lot of work to do, but with only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, Brent, can the GM really just cover most of it?
I think the GMs, at least the smartest GMs, Kevin, have a great team behind them that gets out there, gathers as much information as possible, and does as much in terms of not only the play, but the player, the dynamics of the player, his characteristics, what he's about, to bring all that information to a general manager and present it to him before the draft. Teams do a great job of targeting guys that they think are going to enhance their roster.
And now the international realm comes into play too.
Well, if I signed you up for my Mediterranean scouting service, Kevin, would you do it?
Yeah, I do it for free.
I'll see you over there.
For 3, Brogdon. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brogdon. For Minnesota, they've gone just 2 of 8 in this 4th quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. T kicks to Wiggins. Towns the screen. Stolen by Middleton. Up top, Bledsoe. Gibson with the steal. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That's foul number 2 for him. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Here's the screen. Gibson passes to Teague. And Gibson kicks to Teague. Butler on the way. He's guarded by Brogdon. 3 on the clock. Shots good by Butler.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
In the corner, it's Brogdon. Back to Bledsoe. He feeds it to Henson. In the corner, Middleton with it. Over Wiggins. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
Now working in the mid-range, Middleton finding some ways to play in between.
Outside Teague. To the wing right side. Here's Towns. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Clearly a foul. And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20-10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
The free throw drops for Towns. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
And Henson kicks to Bledsoe. Back to Henson. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Now guarded by Gibson. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. Timberwolves trail by 20. On the wing, Wiggins. Defended by Middleton. Teague against Bledsoe. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Here's Towns. Milwaukee with the rebound. Henson's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
Here's Teague. A Brent for college players who decide to stay in school for their junior and senior years. In some cases, it's been hurting their draft stock. Sometimes it helps. Can you talk about why we see a difference in the two?
I think what happens, Kevin, is that in any given collegiate season, that next year, there's another opportunity for a brand new crop of players. Maybe not the star guys that are going into college as freshmen, but guys who just played their freshman year or in their sophomore season take their next step. And so guys who are juniors and seniors might be looked at as not advancing fast enough or not as much potential, with guys a year behind them being better players.
And one of the things I love about Chris Middleton is his decision making. You know, he doesn't force shots or passes when he has the ball and just lets the play develop. And that's why coaches trust him so much.
Two shots.
And the first one drops. And with Middleton and his decision-making, it's true for both his scoring and his passing.
For the amount he facilitates, he has great efficiency. Low turnovers, solid field goal percentage, and his passing gets better every year.
Middleton hits them both.
The versatility Middleton offers up is exceptional. A capable defender, a good scorer, an effective shooter. Those are the kind of switchblade players that coaches love.
Towns, some solid defense from Antetokounmpo.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Kicks it down to Middleton. Bledsoe dishes to Middleton. And the Bucks miss again. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot two. Over the decades, the way the league has grown, phenomenal, due in no small part to the leadership. Brent, what are some of the key traits you've seen of these two great NBA commissioners?
I think the one thing about both David Stern and Adam Silver that they have done a great job with is that they're approachable. There doesn't seem to be a time, at least in an NBA player's career, where they don't feel like they could either call the office and within maybe a day or two hear from somebody from the league office. But the fact that both David Stern and Adam Silver find their way out to arenas throughout the regular season, come to see every team, that approachability, I think, far and away sets those two gentlemen aside.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him.
I felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line. And they still need to step up just a little bit. They have the lead, but he needs to find himself out there.
On the wing, Wiggins. Rebounded by the Bucks. And Middleton kicks to Brogdon. And stolen by Butler. Wiggins against Middleton. Wiggins passes to Teague. Here's Towns. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Middleton dishes to Bledsoe. And the rejection by Towns. Fast break, Minnesota. Butler against Brogdon. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Over Middleton. They get it back. The kick out to Teague. Back to Towns. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Towns has got 10 points in just the second half. Teague against Bledsoe. Now here's Antetokounmpo. He's tightly guarded.
Taj Gibson doing a good job of just getting the hands up, and then the instincts come into play with the block.
Got a piece of it, and there's going to be a foul. He definitely made contact with the ball, and in doing so also got the body, so we'll see free throws here. Free throw, good, Butler. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And Butler is a true leader, a guy his teammates look up to, and one of the best in our game.
Here's Bledsoe, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And Brent, over the course of the last few seasons, we've seen Bledsoe move into more of a playmaking role.
Well, I think at the point guard position, you need to be a vocal leader. That's something that the coaching staff has continued and encouraged him to do. There's a lot of young players around him, and sometimes that guidance can help you be a little more consistent throughout the course of a 48-minute game.
First one falls for him. Brent, when we look at some of the classic rivalries between teams, they don't always look as emotionally charged nowadays. Is there a way you think to get that back?
Well, the first thing I do, Kevin, is not try to manufacture anything. The second thing I would avoid is please don't bring up the Lakers-Celtics rivalries in the 80s. And the last thing I would make you conscious of is the fact that, look, players are moving around so often that it's hard to get years and years of the same matchup with the same guys on the roster. Now, look, accept the competition for what it is, and if we get another one where teams are facing one another more often, then let's enjoy it for what it is.
Henson with the screen. Antetokounmpo against Towns. Antetokounmpo kicks to Bledsoe. Shot clock at 5. Henson sets a screen for Antetokounmpo. Shoots over Towns. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. Timberwolves trail by 18 and out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Milwaukee's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. To the wing on the left. Bledsoe kicks to Henson. Back to Bledsoe. Henson against Towns. 5 to shoot. Brogdon.
What's up? Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Brogdon. Both shots good from the stripe. So the value of NBA teams now on average over $1 billion each if you include all the different things they have and run. And Brent, when you take a look at that and take that into consideration, what are some of the big things the league has done to generate such growth?
Well, I think this is where you have to commend both David Stern and Adam Silver in terms of being progressive with how in touch they are with the game of basketball, addressing it internationally much better than the NFL has done it, in my opinion, over the course of the past 2 decades, where they know they've got this tremendous fan base, not only in Europe, but certainly in Asia and China, and they're more than willing, Kevin, to go to those markets, expose those players, and get them enthusiastic and excited about what our game offers.
Here's Teague. No good off the back of the rim.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't gone to his head. He may be trying too hard at this point. I like that recognition. Effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
Here's T. After the basket by Milwaukee. Here's Towns. Here's Gibson. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Good job by Taj using his muscle on that shot, even when you rough him up.
The free throw is off from Gibson.
So easy to respect Taj Gibson and the way he goes about his business. A strong leader on and off the floor.
Full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
I can imagine a lot of things right now, but a comeback, that's not one of them.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Middleton. It's rebounded by Towns. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Middleton. And they cash in right away with the quick shot. Middleton's got 6 points in the quarter.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Bucks.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And we watched them all night long. No one could really stop them. Just another excellent game it was for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
And he knocks down the first one. Hey, Brent, what are some of the biggest differences between NBA play and international play?
I think in international play, and we're moving more and more towards it, Kevin, is possessions oftentimes involve 5 to 6 passes and exploring quick cuts to the basket, big guys away from the hoop, and opening up space around the lane for cutters to get in there and slicing through with passes to get available scoring opportunities. A lot of these coaches have borrowed some sets, especially during international competition with the Olympics, that they brought back to training camps for the NBA season.
Passing, cutting, shooting. I mean, those are the most attractive things to the naked eye to see and watch.
You know what, Kevin? That sounds a lot like basketball to me.
Yeah, me too. Milotovic's shot is good. And the Bucks lead by 20.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
Now here's Brooks. He kicks it to Towns. Feeds to Crawford. Towns the screen. Shot off the screen. Crawford, no luck. And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
Middleton the pass to Dellavedova. And so it's the Bucks taking care of business in this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Jabari, you guys really got after it tonight. Is this the kind of mentality you want to impose on the other team?
Just as long as I stay aggressive, you know, don't rush the game, don't get outside of my game, but continue to play hard.
Well, you got your teammates looking for you tonight, Jabari. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.